Hello, everybody. This is Walrus McFish Sr., and we are back with another episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Yeah, it's Savage Sid the Cleaver, the former kid of Rue. And in the last video, we had just finished clearing our way through the main dungeon. Probably the most significant thing to happen is we have amazing jewelry now. I mean, look at that. Our character is pretty decked out now. We've got some amazing artifact jewelry there. Our boots are running. We might appreciate improving some of our other things, you know, a little slightly better shield, slightly better enchantment on that cloak, you know, a better pair of gloves maybe. We haven't seen any of that, have we? Gloves, no. How about armor? I think I saw some armor. There's a rune chainmail over there. We might as well check that out, I think. We might not upgrade to the plate mail just yet, but we could. I mean, looking at it, you know, I mean, now that we have that boost to the intelligence, we're getting very close to being able to cast it in the chainmail. So let's get there first, and then maybe we can boost up our armor scale and get to some armor. Or it would also be great if we had some fire dragon armor or something like that. We have that plate mail fire resistance, of course, which is interesting. But, you know, I mean, dragon armor would be great. You know, that would kind of be an awesome thing for us. We have excellent cold resistance now, but no fire resistance. In fact, fire dragon armor would be pretty perfect for us, I think. But maybe not. Let's see if that happens. In the meantime, let's go check out this chainmail. Just to see if it's any good. Yeah. Battle Axe of Chopping is pretty cool, but again, we love our vampiric one. It's just too good to get rid of. And we'll put this on. Nope, no good at all. And we'll continue to wear our poison resistance, even though we don't need it. You know, I just like this AC. It's nice to have 21 AC. If we had some more enchant armor, then we'd have a little bit more flexibility. But if I had enchant armor right now, I'd probably use that on my Cloak of Magic resistance now. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to go now and check out the spider nest. Because I think that's probably going to be easier than the shoals, and we got the poison resistance, we got the see invisible. Yeah, I think we're just good to go. Yeah, just go there. And hopefully it'll be not too difficult. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to tab our way through most of it, vampirically drain our way through the spiders, not putting up too much of a fight, I hope. Where's my stone arrow nowadays? Stone arrow is good. I was just thinking, do I have a way of dealing with orb spiders? And the answer is I think I do, basically. Cool, so here's the lair. Oh yeah, there's the lair right there. The lair and the orcish mines are right next to each other. Yeah, I would love to just pick up a rune here. You know, I mean, this is always like a big moment. This is like a rite of passage for any characters. Go and get your first rune. If we can get one rune, you know, that's sort of my metric for a good character. You know, I mean, if we can get one rune, I'll be happy with this character. It's worth having been up on this channel. We have clarity now, too, so we don't have to worry about these guys. So this is a big test for us, and I think we can do it. You know, I'm excited. You know, I wanted to record one more video right now because I'd love to get this rune. You know, it'd put me in a good humor. You know, for the rest of the weekend. It's just a great tone for the rest of the weekend. Did you see that? Those stone arrows are brilliant. I didn't know we could stone arrow like that. We have got a little bit of a kick to those conjurations now. So we got some mustard on those. Let's use them as appropriate. Maybe we should be using them all the time. Jumping spider is going to jump towards us generally. Maybe we should dig or put up a Song of Slaying. Sure, how about let's put a Song of Slaying and a little bit of armor. These guys aren't going to be able to touch us. Not one bit. Not to mention, we've got vampiric sort of stuff going on here. Ring mail, okay, well, we'll see if it's great. It could be really great. It's worth checking out. Demonic crawler, not even an issue. Nothing to be concerned with. We can just chop our way through that carapace. Yeah, all these guys, nothing. These guys don't know what true arthropodness is all about. I was trying to think of the noun form of arthropod. Arthropody. That's what I was going for here. It seems like there should be like a syllable shift there. But I'm not sure. I don't know. It's probably not the kind of word that comes up very often in conversation. My arthropod is way more arthropodic than yours. Nuh-uh. Yeah-huh. And you have an arthropodic bug battle. That'd be pretty cool, but also kind of cruel, you know. If it was just a Pokemon battle or whatever, that'd be fine, you know. Bug-type Pokemon. Okay, well, let's check out what this faintly glowing rune mail is all about. I'll just identify it, just in case it's contaminated. Oh, it's nasty, and it would have been cursed. It's just so bad. We need that AC. Yeah, ooh, electric eel. I'm not sure if I can hit that electric eel from this distance, but let's just get up a Song of Slang or whatever. I should be able to cast these spells more regularly. I really wish I could. But maybe I shouldn't even be worrying about it because I don't need them. Yeah, just blast them as such. Yeah, that's great. I'm really digging this stone arrow. I'm going to be using this more. I'm glad we have this +8 intelligence now. We can actually cast our basic spells. Orb spiders. We can deal with that. And maybe we can even block one of these things. Nah, but it dodged us anyway. Exploded into countless fragments. That's pretty cool. And I can't quite hit this electric eel from here, but I can hit him from here and two-shot him. That's great. We're a little bit of a conjurer. What do you know? Our conjuration's up to 7.5. I think we should continue that for just a second, but I'm pretty happy with where that's at. I didn't really need many conjurations beyond Stone Arrow. In fact, I might go for Irradiate now that we're a little bit more intelligent. I think that's probably more of a reasonable prospect. Don't you think so? That would be fun. I mean, that was like, you know, the Harrigan guy, that was basically the whole point, was to check out this new spell, this Singularity spell, because it seemed like a pretty big deal. Irradiate seems pretty cool too. You know, I'd love to see it. I like to give every spell at least one try, just so I can have a proper, you know, first-hand experience with it and make proper judgments about it in the future. I don't know if it's going to be really necessary, but it could be really cool. Rune Dagger, no. None of these guys are going to be too difficult. Wolf Spider, yes, a little bit on the tankier side, but bring it on, you know. We love that. Area around Roxanne. Can we take out Roxanne? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Let's try it. I say let's go for it. Yeah, walk to a travel excluded area. We have the ability to tab. Oh. She got slowed down, though. Whoa, bolt of magma. Okay, so maybe not. Let's back away. Alright, so never mind. Alright, that's stupid. Let's not jump into that travel excluded area. Yeah, she can throw iron shots and crystal spears and stuff like that. Our defenses are not that good. So, never mind. No reason to go and fight that dangerous, immobile foe. Maybe later, when we're feeling more up to the task. Maybe we'll be able to cast Iron Shot one day if we work up our conjuration some more. I'm feeling pretty good about that. A glowing cloak is interesting. I mean, it's worth checking out, I guess, because what if it were like an enchanted cloak of magic resistance? It's just a +2 cloak. We already got one of those. Let's just continue with the magic resistance because we sort of need that, don't we? Definitely a slight deficiency of ours. Boulder Beetle does hurt, huh? Maybe if I put up some other buffs, it would have been better. I should put up some more buffs, and I should get some stronger armor sometime soon. I would love to get some dragon armor. We haven't seen any dragon. Yeah, we've definitely not seen the dragon armor, except for the steam dragon armor. Ooh, a bunch of guys here. But I should be able to chop, and with my cleaving and Rue Retribution... See, this would be a good time for an Irradiate here. It seems a little superfluous with our abilities, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, we already have an axe. I mean, an axe is basically like the same sort of... It fills the same sort of niche there, you know, of being able to clear a bunch of guys surrounding us. So I don't know if Irradiate is strictly necessary, but it might be strictly cool. You know, it might be necessary for the rule of cool. We are ready to go down, I guess. I'm not sure what items we can't quite reach. Maybe there's something across the water or whatever. But that was a pretty easy floor. I mean, we found Roxanne. That's the thing about the Spider's Nest, and I mean these lair branches in general, is you tend to find a couple of uniques. Sometimes you're not expecting to run into difficulties because you can deal with all the normal threats, but you never quite know when you're going to run into a unique. There's a tourmaline ring. Let's try it on instead of Gin real quick. Ring of Protection from Fire is strictly inferior to the Ring of Gin. So let's just go with that. Obviously. Obviously. That's my Professor Snape right there. Song of Slang, I guess. It's a song about how we fought a whole bunch of spiders, and it was kind of scary. But, you know, we don't really have arachnophobia. You know, a lot of people would find this to be, like, really terrifying. Like Ron Weasley. Anyway, with arachnophobia, you know, I mean, the spiders are very strange and freaky. They move in bizarre ways. They've got all these extra limbs and whatever. But to be honest, I mean, that's sort of because, I feel, that they are so different from us, right? You know, I mean, they've sort of got this weird alien thing going on. Arthropods in general are very weird and freaky in the way they move. They're distantly related from us, evolutionarily speaking. So you sort of get this weird body horror sort of thing when the way they move their limbs just because they're so alien. Whereas something like a puppy or whatever is like, oh, it's cute and cuddly just because it's a mammal. It's a very relatively close evolutionary cousin. On the other hand, for us, we're a formicid. You know, these guys are kind of our buddies. In the sense that, you know, it's more like a bear. I mean, they're dangerous, you know, right? Like a bear, you respect the danger of a bear, but it's not. You're not going to get like weirdly freaked out by a bear. And if you are, you know, that's fine. You know, I mean, I know some people have bearophobia, like Stephen Colbert, right? I'm not sure if that's actually true. If that was more of a running gag, I'm sure it was exaggerated. But you know, I mean, I'm sure some people it happens to some people, but I don't think it's as common as arachnophobia. I think that's with a good reason. Even if a bear attack is just as dangerous as a spider attack in most habitats in the world. Well, we got seriously poisoned there. That was a little dangerous. Yeah, all these guys, sometimes these guys have like ultra venomous type attacks. So anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to make is we don't like the spiders, but it's more like a war for us rather than fighting beasts. You know, it's fighting, you know, people who are more closely related to us, evolutionarily speaking. You know, which makes it a little bit more gut-wrenching in a different way. You know, we're not just squashing monsters here. We're fighting our brethren here. But spiders and ants are not that closely related, right? You know, again, it's more like, you know, humans and bears. Probably as closely related. Translucent cloak. I'll check it out. I'm willing to check it out. I'll identify it, I suppose, just in case of contamination or something like that. Yeah, it's not the best. I really prefer magic resistance, I think, and the -1 is no good either. We already have a Ring of Flight. Strength is okay, but, you know, that's not really spectacular. But I'm not complaining because we found so many good artifacts in the last video that, you know, I'm feeling set, basically. You know, give me a good set of gloves or something like that, but whatever, I don't need it. What I really need is Fire Dragon armor. If you're going to give me something right now, give me Fire Dragon armor. Just a big Fire Dragon walking around. He's like, what am I doing here in the spider nest? Shouldn't have taken that left turn at Albuquerque. Is what a Fire Dragon would say. If you were in a Looney Tune, maybe. But, yeah, I don't know how likely that is to happen. I bet if we go down to the depths, we might find a Fire Dragon or two. Or maybe into the vaults. There's dragons in there. Like, I think we saw a Fire Dragon zombie wandering around near the entrance to the depths. So, I mean, that seems pretty likely we might find some dragons down there. Down in Zot is another place where you see a lot of dragons. But that might be a little late. I guess that is the point when you most desperately do want the fire resistance. Just because, well, you know, that's when you're running into the orbs of fire. That's the fire-related threat that will kill you. Although in the vaults, etc., you see some fire threats, like the fire giants and what have you. The fire giants, there's fire dragons in there, too. So you want fire resistance ASAP, basically. We would love to have a little bit more fire resistance than we do. Here's a book of enchantments. Now, here's the question. Deflect missiles. What's the odds? Very poor. What if I were to take off my armor? So wield nothing. Or remove it, I guess. Remove... How do I remove it? Take off. That's it. Take off my +4 chainmail. Now how does it look? Deflect missiles. Still 100%. Level 6 is very ambitious for us. I was thinking we were going to have a cutoff at level 5. I think there's a pretty big jump from level 5 to level 6, actually. Like, deceptively big, considering it's just one number, you know, one increment. But I feel like, yeah, going from 5 to 6 is a pretty big deal. I don't know. I was hoping for repel missiles so I could at least work up to it. I didn't have any intention to train air magic this game. I have 11 spell levels left. Okay, you know what? We're going to hang on to the book. I obviously can't, like, take off my armor. But, I mean, with repel missiles or deflect missiles, you can always just take it off and recast it as necessary. If you can just cast the spell without armor once. You know, it's a little bit annoying. You can't recast it in combat or anything like that. But it's pretty cool, I guess, that you can do that. It's slightly annoying to have to take off your armor every time. But it's possible if you want to try to do it. I would love to find repel missiles first, though. Would be a better stepping stone. Alright. Anyway, we're done with Spider-Man 2. We don't really need it for now, although we would love to have it going down into the vaults. That won't be for a little while. Maybe that's an excuse for me to train up my charms some more. I mean, if I had better charms. Yeah, there's some other things I'd like to be able to do with my life. Training up my armor is nice, I guess. Like, training up my charms, training up my, like, air magic. Do I really want to train air magic? My earth magic is so good. I know there's not a mouse for that anymore, but I train up air magic every game. Maybe I should go for deflect missiles. We're not really casting Lee's Rapid Deconstruction, but that's my fault. I'm just not using it. I would love transmutations for the possibility of Irradiate as well, but maybe we should give that up. Conjurations might be done. Conjurations just hit level 8. Let's turn that off. Spellcasting can stay on. I gotta go for Deflect Missiles. I feel like that's a really good idea. And if we find Repel Missiles first, then oh well. We're a Scald. We can handle it. We can handle this high-level charms. Let's not shy away from this. And my Access skill is getting pretty good. If that gets up to level 20 or so, we can turn that off, or at least unfocus it. Armor is getting better. I could turn that off whenever I felt like it, basically. Yeah, charms, and let's, bring it on. I've had basically enough Earth Magic anyway. Lee's Rapid Deconstruction is at 19%. Alright, you know what, let's do this. Let's kill this redback. Let's kill several redbacks. Okay, let's kill several redbacks and then a host of other spider-like creatures. Step over here, I have a quick bite to eat, just because you never want to be memorizing spells in an empty stomach. And now we'll memorize Deflect Missiles. It looks intimidating, right, with 100%? But we've seen that before. We memorized Singularity too. It looked intimidating at the time as well. But we can do it. Alright, spell assigned to G. I'd rather it not be that. What's on E right now? Oh, okay, well that's perfect, actually. Those two need to get switched. E spells. Passage of Galubria goes to G. Deflect Missiles goes to E. Okay, and we'll train our air magic, unfocus Earth magic, and maybe even turn that off in a second. And we'll turn on air magic. And should I even focus air magic? I got a -2 aptitude for it, so I sort of want to do that. Translocations I'll turn off as soon as Passage of Galubria gets there, although maybe we'll go for Phase Shift too if we can pick up that Book of Enchantments. I got a lot of stuff I want to do. I'm getting to wishy-washy skills mode, which means I'll never get anything done until suddenly everything gets online at the same time. But when that moment happens, it's going to be good. I think we have enough to sustain ourselves until that time. And also considering that, we're waking up our core skills at the same time. So that's why I don't feel too bad about my wishy-washiness, right? And it's like, you can see the tangible payoffs, right? Stone and Arrow was completely uncastable for a while, until suddenly it's not, just in time to be able to deal with these orb spiders. It's the first time we've really needed it. And, Passage of Galubria might not be ready for most of the game, but as soon as we get to the vaults, as soon as we get to the depths and places where we could legitimately need to teleport, we're ready for it. Chunks of flesh. Yeah, why do we have so much stuff? Like, do I really need this plate armor, this chainmail, positive energy? I'm never going to wear this ring of positive energy, right? Wand of flame. We don't need all these trashy wands. I don't care if that's recharged. I don't want it. Wand of confusion. I have no evocations training. Wand of frost. We've got way better wands than that, and it's just taking up room. Another wand of confusion. Wand of disintegration is not really useful. We don't need 3 of them. Gee. 2 potions of ambrosia. Not going to help us now that we have this amulet, so we'll just drop that. And a book of enchantments. Well, I might bring that to my library at least. Good. Alright, we cleared up a bunch of space. Fine. Focusing air magic. Focus charms, too. Sure. We really want to get Deflect Missiles. We made a commitment here. Savage Sid never backs down to a challenge, even if we are a little bit cowardly. We're not a coward when it comes to book learning. I don't know if that really counts as not being a coward. I'm going to read the whole book, Ivanhoe, in 1 weekend. Aren't I tough? Doesn't that make me tough? I don't even know. I never read the book Ivanhoe. I don't even know if it's very long. That jumping spider is jumping around a little too much. Maybe we should teach him a lesson. We are pretty tough. We are very savage. We are able to chop through all this, right? I'm not feeling a concern right now. I haven't felt concern in a little while, which is good. Not since 2 videos ago, really. We had a lot of concern back then. It's good to mix it up a little bit, that's how you build dramatic tension, is you interlace comedy and tragedy. But, on the other hand, you gotta make sure there's some dramatic tension. And we'll see. You never know. Spider 5 is gonna be a little bit tough, I'm sure. If we ran into a random unique, who knows what could happen? Who knows who could be entering from stage left at any moment? It's a cloak. That was surprising. Doesn't seem like much now, but who knows what symbolic significance that cloak will have later in Act 3. It's Chekhov's cloak. You know, that's going to be the same cloak that Erolka's zombie comes back and wears during the orb run. Oh, whoops. Blocked over destruction, that's fine. Alright, and now we are back trolling away around here. No problem. No problem. Just, honestly, nothing. Maybe we should sing. I feel like that might be a good way to keep our spirits up. At the very least, if it's going to be a comedy scene, you know, it's like in Shakespeare. Shakespeare always had all those weird songs in his plays. It's one thing that is interesting about Shakespeare. There's all these cultural references and things that don't necessarily hold up. But that's not his fault. You know, he was just trying to be topical. Like, I bet if you watch these dungeon crawl videos in 1,000 years... Well, Shakespeare didn't live 1,000 years ago. If you watch them in 400 years from now... Well, I bet they'd be mostly incomprehensible. I bet the language will have changed. I bet all of the expressions and culture will have changed. You have to have, like, a whole bunch of, like, you know, YouTube annotations on the side just to be able to, like, explain what's going on. All of my bizarre turns of speech. And also all of the nonsense. It would be hard to separate the cultural references from the nonsense now that I think about it. So, that'll make the jobs even harder for future crypto archaeologists. But, you know, I was thinking about, for example, I was listening to the song the other day on the radio. Bicycle by Queen. I don't know if you know that song. It's a good song. It's you know, not a new song, but it's within the past couple of decades. And, you know, there's one, it's packed full with cultural references. The one that struck me in particular was, you know, he says, I say smile, or you say smile, I say cheese. And it's like, yeah, everybody takes that for granted. Maybe you don't if you're a crypto historian watching this. But, you know, in today's society, at least what I'm familiar with, you say smile. You know, that's a good way to get people to say smile when you're taking a picture, right? You say smile and you say cheese because you're taking a picture. And everybody understands that reference. And as such, there's a little bit of like a cultural understanding there in the lyric of that song. In 500 years, that would probably sound like nonsense. It's like, what does smiling and cheese have to do with each other? Absolutely nothing. And you'd have to have that little footnote on the side that's like, back in the late 20th century, cheese was associated with smiling because when taking a photograph, it sound cheese, saying the word cheese would cause you to spread your mouth in such a way that was reminiscent of a smile. And then these future people would have to like nod their heads like, oh, I see. It doesn't really make sense, but okay. And then I would be like, hey man, it does make sense. I'd get all indignant. My ghost who's watching down. Because I'm going to be a ghost after I die. That's my plan. I don't know about you. You know, you should start planning for your death right now, you know. If you haven't thought about afterlife options, you know, you should look into it. It's something you put into your will. You should talk to a lawyer about it. You know, in that way. Oh, it's Izul. I didn't even notice. We're fighting Izul. But I guess we should just continue to chop him. Oh, he fell asleep! Whoops! That was annoying. Okay, so that's one thing that paralysis can't protect us from, I guess. Or not paralysis, but stasis. If it had been... Whoa, I feel threatened. Okay, I think we're still okay. Yeah, we just killed Izul. I thought I was just fighting like a... I don't know what I thought I was fighting there. I guess I thought I was in the snake pit for a second. I got confused. I just saw a capital S, and I was like, oh, I'm fighting a guardian serpent or something. Nope, it was Izul, and we basically were able to casually deal with him, so never mind about uniques being dangerous. Not that one. With our poison resistance, falling asleep is a little bit weird. You know, we're not used to having our body being taken out of our control like that, having our permastasis that we do, so it's a little bit of a weird experience. You know, ants do sleep, in a sense, right? I'm pretty sure that ants sleep. At least they go into some sort of dormant state. I'm not sure if it's quite the same as mammalian sleep. I'm sure. I imagine. I don't know. I should really look it up. I'm interested. We got some options. Strength, intelligence, dexterity. Well, we got plenty of dexterity considering we can't actually dodge anything. It's going to be strength or intelligence. I feel like as savage as we are, you know, we sort of have to get a little bit more into strength, especially now that our intelligence is higher than our strength, enchanted up magically. That's a little bit of a source of embarrassment among the savage. You know, you can't quite present an image of yourself as being savage if your highest stat point is intelligence. Maybe that's anti-intellectual, and if so, I apologize. No, but I shouldn't be apologizing because I'm savage. You know, see, that's my problem. All this magic using has got me a little bit too civilized. Savage Sid should not be apologizing. Yikes. Whoa, okay, we got threatened because we got hit with a orb destruction for real. But that guy got paralyzed in Retribution, which was pretty awesome. And therefore we were able to exact our revenge. Not even our revenge, you know, we're just destroying you because you exist and need to be destroyed. Not even because we necessarily feel that you need to be, I need to be avenged or anything like that, you know, I mean, you're just putting up more resistance to not existing than most creatures, so we have to try extra hard. We did get a Scroll of Enchant Armor, so that means that we should probably get our Cloak of Magic Resistance up. It's probably the best piece of peripheral armor we have. Boots of Running is great too, right? I can't imagine replacing that, but we need the Magic Resistance as well. Might as well balance it out with +1/+1. I mean, AC is AC. It doesn't really matter. We're going to find another Scroll of Enchant Armor pretty soon, and probably not any better cloaks or boots than that. Although I guess maybe we would find an artifact cloak or something like that. Maybe it would have been better to put it on the boots now that I think about it, but it's an extremely minor deal. Yeah, these guys are tough. Tougher than I thought. They can poison us a little bit. Air magic going up. It's embarrassing. It's a little bit weird. Deflect missiles is not going to happen anytime soon. But eventually, it'll happen by the time we need it. If we can get it online by the vaults, I'd be really happy. But maybe that's, even that is slightly unrealistic. Yeah. And honestly, actually, now that I have that, I'm not even sure if I need to carry around this Book of Enchantments. Let's just drop that here. We don't need any more of those spells. We're not going to learn Haste. If we were a summoner, we might consider learning Haste even with our Permastasis, even though that's just a little cute, honestly. Why are you going to learn Haste if you can't use it on yourself? It is great to cast Haste on your summons, but still, you know, I mean, it defeats the purpose of Haste if you can't Haste yourself. Anyway, we can't even have summons because nobody loves us, so that's not even an option for us. So Haste is worthless for us, essentially. I can't imagine a situation where you want to Haste your enemy, right? That doesn't really make sense. And all those other spells are kind of whatever. Right? 2 chemas, that's a... 2 chemas, yeah, let me just look at this one more time. 2 chemas, yeah, this is all hexes. You know, I think it's a little late for us to be learning hexes, especially if we're doing weird stuff like learning air magic. I think maybe we should save hexes for next game. We could have an arcane marksman. I was thinking about that. Could be kind of cool to have a like a crossbow game with an arcane marksman. Excuse me. Yeah, you can tell my voice is starting to go a little bit. I can tell my voice is getting all raspy, which is fine. Just a different modality for my voice, sort of. But you know, it means I'm ready to stop soon. Which is fortunate because we're almost to Spider 5, so this is going to be the true test here. The Spider 1 through 4 was the comedy. This is the tragedy. Or at least it's a climax here, maybe. Maybe there's going to be something worth fighting down here. If not, then, well, sometimes the world doesn't actually work out like a Shakespeare play. Ghost Moth. That's a Ghost Moth. So what do we do about that? I think it means that we should get up our abilities, like Shroud, Stone Skin... And now we just get ready to chop. Yeah, because all of our magic is going to leave in 1 second, but that doesn't really matter if we have our charms up. Song of Slaying could have worked too, I guess, but without anything else to kill, it's not really going to be worthwhile. It's not going to do anything. Ghost Moth stings itself. Yeah, you do that, Ghost Moth. That's hilarious. So that's first Ghost Moth down. That's cool. That's great. I mean, Ghost Moth was a real trouble for us with the Harrigan game, mostly because we just couldn't see it. But doesn't seem like it's really going to be an issue. We've got a great setup for dealing with Ghost Moths. We've got just a buffs that we can cast, and then after that, who cares if our magic gets drained away? Because we already got our buffs. We don't really need any consistent source of conjurations or anything like that, although we do have that in Stone Arrow, so we got options. We got so many options. Okay, this is interesting. Is this going to be the main rune vault in here? I'm not sure. It looks like a bunch of guys at least. Looks like we could be getting there. Emperor Scorpion is pretty indicative of that. So I imagine we're approaching the rune in here. Emperor Scorpion is, of course, the other sort of main boss of the spider nest, if you will. There's no, like, unique like the Shoals has. Shoals we're going to have to fight. Emperor Scorpions and Ghost Moths are basically the boss of the spider nest. And considering how tanky we are, I think we're okay. We should be able to drain its life and just generally put up a fight with our battle axe. 1, 2, 3. We got pretty stung. I wasn't expecting that, but I think we should be able to take it. Yeah, now I'm slightly surrounded. It might be nice to sort of dig in the hole, but I don't really want to waste a turn doing that. I think we're going to be okay. I killed the jumping spider as well. So you know what? I think that they might have changed cleaving so it does attack things behind me as well. Mostly because it did lead to degenerate behavior where you would just hold down the control and just swing in a weird direction, and that was sort of spoilery. So I guess they probably changed it. But I hit the wolf spider there just by pressing down, so never mind about what I was saying before. I'm glad I tested that, so I just wasn't acting under a false assumption. You know, you gotta falsify your assumptions sometimes, your beliefs. Okay, Emperor the wolf spider dying. And see, yeah, I mean, I'm taking a hit every once in a while. I'm taking a pretty serious punch. But on the other hand, I have this vampirism to back it up. And all my buffs are still going strong. There's an orb spider over there, but he can't really do anything. One more Emperor Scorpion, but my buffs are still okay. Should have had a Song of Slaying this whole time. I could cast Regeneration too if I needed to, but I'm basically going to stay at full health. Keep up a Shroud, because of any sort of attack we can shroud away. It's just brilliant, you know, those attacks hurt if they hit. So anytime we can do that. Okay, now you're blind. That's pretty good for me. I can't get any good stabs. It's almost worth it. It's tempting to put a couple points into stealth. As weird as that is, it would be cool to have the boots of the assassin. I know that's a little bit something to ask for, especially now that I have boots of running. You know, I mean, I don't even know if I want any other boots than this. Yikes, this guy's annoying. We killed him, though. And now hopefully we can take out this orb spider before anything serious happens. Nice, this is actually pretty good. We can recharge on this guy. Here, in fact, let me even get regeneration up a little bit. Infusion is still going, but it could be going more. I can read scrolls again because I'm feeling fine about this situation. Paralyzed, orb spider is going to die. Yeah, there might be a couple more Emperor Scorpions or something, but usually there's not more than a few. I would imagine there might be a Ghost Moth in there. Sometimes they're paired together. But we'll see. 2 Emperor Scorpions is definitely probably like a substantial part of the challenge. The intended challenge. I don't know, did you feel challenged? At no point there did I feel like in serious danger. And we can't dig. I mean, let's remember, we can't just teleport away if things get seriously bad. But we also, remember, we have the apocalypse in our back pocket. So, if necessary, we could always resort to that. And maybe that would have been a fun thing to do. Maybe that's a thing to try right now. But, I mean, there's not any tough foes here. An apocalypse is definitely something to use on, like, Vault 5, for example. You know, I feel like we should go and use it there. Because, well, that seems like the perfect use for it. In fact, it's pretty good use for it here, too. Let's use it. I'm itching for an apocalypse. It's time for an apocalypse. Yes, we killed everybody except for the Emperor Scorpion, who might have gotten paralyzed. And there's a whole bunch more guys over there, too. Maybe we should have saved it. I feel like we'd do a couple of apocalypses is totally fine. Maybe that's just not quite as bad as it seems. Sometimes I feel like the antenna sense sort of exaggerates the threat. Like, it looks like there's like 800 guys over there. And maybe there are. But maybe it's not as big a deal as it seems. 2 Emperor Scorpions is almost worth an Inferno just by itself. Especially because I can't dig in here. But maybe I can take both? I don't know. Can I take 2 Emperor Scorpions? That'd be a pretty impressive feat. Shroud falling apart. I can kill... Not quite... Oh, no. Alright, Inferno, Inferno, Inferno. Inferno! Killed that one, and that one's almost dead. Good, that simplifies the matter. Maybe I should try a Power Leap, too. I just actually haven't even tried a Power Leap, because every time I'm in a situation where I think I might like to try a Power Leap, I just feel like the Inferno is the safer spot. Ghost Moth, let's make sure we have our buffs up. Because I know that's going to disappear pretty quick. Our magic is going to evaporate into the ghosty ether. Because isn't that just what Ghost Moths like to do? And there's more Emperor Scorpions. So this is a relatively tough sort of challenge here. But it's not the worst in the world. And I feel like now we must have seen most of the worst of it, right? Maybe not. Infusion. I'll get up another Shroud. Sure. You're dead. Yeah, it's tough. You know, taking down those Emperor Scorpions. You know, those are the Arachnids' best weapon. And that's the best the Arachnids can throw at us. But they weren't expecting this from the insects. Go, insects. Insect pride. Oh, it's an orb spider. Yeah, you should get blasted like that. And the orb destruction hit me. How's my possibilities on deflect missile? Still hasn't cracked 100%. That's a little bit discouraging, but we'll get there. You know, as soon as it hits 99%, that's like a great feeling, because it's like, okay, I know it is theoretically castable. Right now, it is impossible for us to cast that spell that we know. You know, we know it in theory. We memorize the words, but we don't understand it. We don't understand it in practice. You know, we've yet to have that aha moment, that eureka moment, you know, where, oh, I feel clumsy. Seriously, I know this guy can drain our stats, which is perhaps the most annoying part about it. And maybe even more annoying is now that I don't have enough magic to be able to throw stuff at that orb spider. So let's just back away a little bit. Orb spider corpse, are you intimidated by that? Are you intimidated by the fact that there's an orb spider corpse right there? Oh, I blocked it. Okay, never mind. So those orbs are not the most dangerous. But let's try to get them a little bit closer. Maybe juke it up north. I blocked that one too, and now I've got a couple of... Yeah. Wait. Oh, I messed it up. Can we just come and get you? Yeah, one stone arrow. And now get him into the corner. Nice. Come on, get him into the corner. Yeah, you're dead. You don't know which way to go. You're dead. Fine. Okay. Yeah, it's a little annoying to face those guys without any magic, but we handled it. You know, back him into a corner. There's no way you can hide. Orb spinner. Wolf spider fails to attack. Everybody failed to attack, and we found the rune. What a beautiful sight. You know, I think runes are cool, right? Because what is that even? Is that like a Greek phi, however you pronounce that letter, right? I don't know. It's not like an English letter or anything like that. It's pretty mysterious. Like, that definitely adds to the appeal of the runes. Like, a lot of the other symbols in the games are relatively ordinary characters that you can find on an ASCII keyboard. You know, I guess that cross is a little weird too. I don't have a cross button on my keyboard. I don't know about you, but, you know, all the other ones, you know, this exclamation point and that, and these at symbols and octothorpes here and whatever else, you know, I mean, definitely I got all those buttons on my keyboard. This Rune of Zot is not as accessible to me, so it's very mysterious, you know, it adds to the power and the mystique. And it's got this cool glowiness. This one seems to be gray and white, and it's a Gossamer Rune of Zot, which is soft and silky and pleasant to the touch. We pick it up and it flashes brown, which is cool, I guess, and we feel its power. I do feel powerful. I felt like we just waltzed our way in here, so I do feel very powerful indeed. Alright, so this is all part of the comedic act. Alright, we'll run into some challenges one day. Maybe this character will have to do end game. You know, if we're feeling this powerful all the way through, we might have to find an alternative to the Vampiric Battle Axe at that point. But, you know, I want to have a challenge. You know, I want this character to be challenged, definitely. But it would also be nice to have a win, right? Maybe we earned ourselves a waltz right to the victory line. And maybe let's not get arrogant or complacent just yet, because there's a lot more challenges yet to face. You know, that's what kills you in Dungeon Crawl if you start to get a little arrogant, start to get a little cocksure, start to get a little cocky, and then you forget your place a little bit. You know, the random number generator puts you back into your place. But let's not be let's not go either way about it. Let's just stay neutral. Let's just stay awakened. You know, I mean, we're not, you know, overly optimistic. We're not overly pessimistic. We just are. And we do know for a fact that we were capable of getting at least one rune, so I feel really good about that. Anyway, I guess thanks for watching. I guess I'll end the video there. Yeah, so thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you have a great weekend. I'll probably be back tomorrow with some more videos, but I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.